though tonight we're going to be talking about issue 3 of Captain Canuck has since come out that we have partaken in reading both of the episodes. Each episode is like a double episode, which is double issue. I keep saying episode, but it's an issue.
Can you edit in me holding up my copy? Because I forgot to bring it today.
No.
I brought it last week thinking we were going to do it.
Well,
can you,
maybe
edit me holding my copy?
I don't know. Last time you said, I'm holding something, did you see what I edited in? I kind of forget what it was. Oh, the end sign.
Yeah.
It up.
It was great.
Yeah. So that may be the best that I can do. But anyways, here it is. We'll get into some of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
let's hit the phone wires.
Let's hit the phone lines here.
Okay. Phone lines are open.
Okay.
Here we go.
Maybe not.
Or is it?
Hello?
Hello, can we speak with Bryan, please?
Speaking.
Oh, hey, Bryan. It's Ad Rock and Steel, your good buddies over at the Mono a Mono show on Sound FM 100.3. Sound FM Mono a Mono.
Now,
hey, great to hear from you.
Yeah, and it's great to have you on the show. Now, we were just prepping the Mono Amigos that we were going to call you. And if you haven't already, you got to check out this comic and history podcast that Bryan does. And can you? I was just searching. I have it as one of my
bookmarks.
As one of my bookmarks or my Facebook groups that I'm a part of. But can you give me the Facebook URL up here?
Oh, the Facebook URL.
Yeah, because I searced it.
Now you've thrown a curveball at him, Steel. Way to go.
Oh, wow. I've never been asked to come up with the URL before.
Okay, I'm gonna.
This is how Steel likes to start interviews. He likes to stump them with Facebook URLs.
You know what? I found it.
Well.
I found it.
Oh, you found it? Yeah.
I found it.
It's pretty easy. It's Facebook/comics and history.
Yeah,
there we go.
It is.
Yeah. Boom. You know what, Bryan? Not to feel bad, because if someone asked me what my Facebook URL was for the Mono a Mono show, I'd have a difficult time too.
Yeah.
And it's Steele's fault too for putting you on the spot.
Hey, that's okay. And you guys don't need to worry about me suing you for copyright infringement.
He's been listening.
I was tuning in just before you called.
All right. Now, by opening this beer, I have yet opened another vault. The Comics and History Vault.
Oh, gosh. Do we have to trademark that when we say it?
What?
It's not our show.
What?
Comics and History Vault, you said.
Oh,
that's not our show.
I meant the Comic Corner Vault.
Okay, that's a little more appropriate.
I have opened the... I'll edit that.
Should we open it?
I was typing in Comics and History.
Oh, so you're thrown off.
Yeah. By opening this...
Go on, keep talking. I'm just going to write down a note
Comics
to myself.
and History. No! Damn it!
Let's get this started.
Okay.
Back in session, you might say.
Yeah, that is right. Okay. A big thing that we talk about, and I know you're into as well, is Captain Canuck. Now, issue number 3 has come out with, I don't know, I'm saying 2 storylines, but it almost feels like there's more. What are your thoughts on the Captain Canuck issue number 3?
Yeah, I echo your sentiments about it feeling like more than 2 stories, simply because the lead story has, a good 2 or 3 different plot threads going on, and we're jumping back and forth between these different elements. That being said, though, I found that issue 3, at least in terms of the lead story, was the best issue so far.
I think I have to agree with you, Bryan.
Well, I mean, great minds think alike, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But I'd like to draw a really neat parallel between this recent issue and issue 7 of the original Captain Canuck run.
Oh.
Going back to issue 7 of the original run, that's when George Freeman took over the art chores
Okay.
on the title, and not only was his art incredible, it allowed Richard Cumley to focus purely on the story, and that's when I found the original series really took off. The stories got a lot more complex, insightful.
I think I see what you're doing here, where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you continue your thought, though. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Keep going.
Oh, thanks. But interesting to see that issue number 3 was Leonard Kirk's full issue. He came in halfway through issue number 2, but issue number 3 is where he becomes the lead artist full time. And I can see the benefit it had for Kalman Andrzejowski. I could see that he had more time to focus on the story, make it a little tighter, a little more coherent. And it's a really important story that's going on right now. It's going to be very important going forward with future stories in this ongoing.
Exactly, because we're getting the backstory right now. For those,
Yes.
we don't want to give away too much for those who haven't gone out and picked up issue number 3, but you learn a lot about the backstory behind Tom and Michael Evans and you know the beginnings of Captain Canuck. Let's say.
Now, initially I was thinking that maybe they would tie the new Captain Canuck in with the older Captain Canucks. Do you think that they're going to do anything of that sort, or not at all, or I don't know?
Without spoiling too much, I suggest that readers go back and look at the first page of the backup classic Canuck story in issue number 0. Just something in the artwork makes me think that eventually we could see a meeting between these two Canucks. And I'll just leave it there for readers to piece things together.
So you were saying the first page of issue number 0 of the current run.
Yeah, so you go to issue number 0 and go to the backup or co-feature by, I want to say it was Ed Brisson, or maybe Richard Cumley wrote that one. But yeah, just a piece of artwork there made me think, I think there might be a connection going on here.
But do comics usually do that? And you would know because you're the comics and history guy. When I thought of comics, and I'm really just getting into comics starting with Captain Canuck, and I've read the back issues, and I've read some other Canadian ones like Nelvana, but they seem to be more, here's a story, just go along with it. I didn't realize that there was so much thinking and like nods to back issues and things like that could happen throughout. But are other comics as deep as we're kind of talking about this Captain Canuck might be?
Oh, yeah.
Oof, I'll let you handle that one, Brian.
Okay. DC, definitely. They do this every 15 to 20 years where they have a massive reshuffling, realignment of their universe. And they say, okay, we're starting off fresh. Everything set back to day one, and then time passes and you get writers and artists who say, well, I want to bring back previous iterations of the characters and show them side by side with the current incarnation. And so it just leads to this whole complex continuity. That's where you get terms like multiverse or hypertime. And writers have fun with it for a while, but then eventually they say, okay, we've got to clean the deck again, start fresh. But yeah, it happens a lot at DC, even Marvel will do it, even though they claim they don't.
Well, at Marvel right now, there's a huge storyline going on right now, right, with the Secret Wars, where they're basically saying the Marvel Universe is going to be ending, right?
Yeah.
So they're basically doing one of those, wipe the slate clean sort of things where they're gonna end their Marvel universe as you know it and then start everything from scratch.
Oh yeah, they are, and along the way they're taking their main universe has been around for 50 plus years, as well as their ultimate line of comics that they've had going for a good 20 years, and they're blending those two together before finally coming up with a new coherent universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, honestly, Steele, it's sometimes it's mind-boggling. That was one of the things that kind of kept me away from comics for a long time, because being someone who wasn't really allowed to collect comics as a kid, but one who was a fan from afar, I just didn't know where to start, because I was aware of all of these multiverses and different iterations of different characters and whatnot, and I was just like, where to begin? But you are the one who got me started, so thank you for that.
Well, no problem.
Got me started back on my journey.
Now, Brian, I don't know if you saw it in the issue number 3.
Oh, boy.
But there's an ad for Northgard, who looks very Captain Canuck, Captain Canuck-esque. Have you read anything about Northgard, or is this, it says Compendium 1984 to 1990, so it looks almost as though this is an older series that is coming back again as well?
And going to be released in December of 2016, not even 2015.
Yes, I have seen the ad, and no, I have not had a chance to read any of the Northgard series. If you go on eBay, it'll cost you quite a bit to pick up the original run. So
really?
I'm very thankful. Oh yeah. I'm very thankful that this collection is going to be coming out next year. It's going to be worth the wait. I've heard that it's kind of fun. If I recall correctly, I think the concept is that the fellow who puts on the Northgard costume, as well as his sidekick, they do it as something more for fun. They're not quite heroes at first, and they're probably not the best qualified in terms of their personality traits, but they grow into the roles.
Oh, very good.
So maybe more like the East or the West
Coast Avengers?
West Coast Captain Canuck.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And then we were talking about also True Patriot, and I think that I was just sent you, I don't know if you saw the email about talking about True Patriot a little bit more as well, where you can follow True Patriot, the creators, at True Patriot CMX, and their Facebook is True Patriot, and you can buy those books as well online, which is another great Canadian, and it's a newer one that is kind of just releasing various comic books by Amazon, where you can go on Amazon and get those books as well. Are there any other kind of Canadian comic books that you are very into, or that you would suggest people check out?
Specifically the Mono Amigos.
Just recently, a friend and fellow podcaster of mine threw out an interesting challenge to me. The series is called We Stand on Guard, and it's written by Brian K. Vaughan, but the art is by Canadian artist Fiona Staple. And the concept sounds pretty interesting. It's about a group of Canadian freedom fighters defending our nation against American invasion, but this time the invaders are these big freaking robots. So the odds are stacked against the Canadians, but I have a feeling that our freedom fighters are going to do okay in this series. So it's Chris Ivey from the Mythmaking ETC podcast. He asked me if I was reading the series and said it might be a good series for me to review on comics and history. So in addition to Captain Canuck, that's one ongoing that I'll be picking up and reading.
Yeah,
cool.
that
Actually,
one sounds interesting because it kind of ties back to where we first met you with the electrifying adventures of DJ Jeffy Jeff. And there was a robot apocalypse happening in that series as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I've heard on the about We Stand on Guard, and I've heard very good things about it. So I have yet to check that one out either, but it does sound very good.
Yeah, it's only up to issue 3 right now, so
Yeah.
it's a good time to jump on board.
For
Oh,
sure.
nice.
Now, one thing I know Steele's itching to get to another a fun segment that he's got involved. But one thing that I'm excited about the potential of is that the Lady Fox, who you may have heard us talk about before, has was when I got home today, told me about this service that, because there's all these cool box services that you can sign up for. So like Bark Box for your dog, or Geek Box if you like, geeky stuff, I suppose. But there's also one that she found today that she may or may not sign me up for, I don't know, called Comic Bento Box, which
Wow.
is a service, and it's kind of cool because it just sends you apparently $60 worth of just random comics. You can sign up for different plans. You can do monthly, or you can do, every other month, or a 6-month plan, or something like that. But I've seen some of the stuff that you can get, and it's really cool because I think sometimes you don't know what's out there unless you try different things, and it would be I think it would be a cool service to sign up for, just to be exposed to different artists or titles and that sort of thing, because you're forced almost to break out of whatever mold you may be in terms of what comics you normally read, and you're forced to read whatever gets sent to you, essentially. So anyways, I just wanted to bring it up, and I thought it was a cool idea. I don't know if you've heard of that, Brian, but
No, not that particular service, and that's pretty neat, I have to say, because, with comics being what they are, DC and Marvel are the big two juggernauts, so we get inundated with stuff from those two companies, and unfortunately, when it comes to smaller independent stuff, it's like you fall into that stuff by accident.
Yeah, exactly.
A happy accident, but no, services like this one that you mentioned are great in terms of raising awareness.
I feel like I should mention at this point, too, there is a great place right down the street on King Street,
yes,
called Carry On Comics, where
yes,
you can also go to get a whole bunch of great comics, including the Captain Canuck, and many others, including a few local comics.
Oh, for sure. And let me be clear, I'm not saying that a service like this should replace your local comic book vendor at all. I'm just saying that when you go to your local comic book vendor, you can only look for what is
Are
there.
thinking about.
Exactly,
yes,
what you
that's
want,
in
and maybe
your
something
eyesight.
that might, strike your fancy visually. But if someone forces essentially a comic on you, you don't know that you don't like it unless you don't try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's all I'm saying. But no, by all means, support your local comic book vendors, and do that, because they're great places, and we want to sustain them for sure.
All right. Before
Okay.
we get to our special fun segment here,
Oh.
Brian, do you have any comics that you think are so good that the Mono Amigo should check out?
Oh, the current issues or
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Current, past.
Oh, wow. Well, given that I'm the comics and history guy, I should probably mention some great comic stories from yesteryear. Certainly Crisis on Infinite Earths from 1985. That, to me, is still DC's greatest comics event ever.
Okay.
And what came out of Crisis on Infinite Earths was actually a really good way for new readers to get on board with comics going forward from 1986. But it's still a wonderful read today. I think any stories written by Alan Moore, past or present, are wonderful, be they Watchmen or just looking on the shelf. I've got this really great trade, DC Universe, the stories of Alan Moore. They're all older stories, but they still feel so fresh and new when I read them.
Dark Knight Returns, anyone?
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns is a really good one to go with. My sentimental favorite is 0 Hour, the 1994 event from DC. That's what really brought me to the show, got me interested in reading comics on a regular basis.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did Alan Moore do The Killing Joke, Brian?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It was originally a concept brought forward by the artist Brian Boland, but he wanted to focus on the art, and so he was looking for a good writer, and he found a great writer in Alan Moore.
For sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. All right, we're going to do a word association here. So we're going to say something, and you give us the first word that you think of when we say our phrase or word.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one,
All right.
We'll go back and forth here.
Okay.
DC.
Sorry, DC?
Yep. DC, yeah.
Green Lantern.
Okay.
Marvel.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Canadian comics.
Captain Canuck.
Favorite comic?
I gotta go with Captain Canuck right now.
Oh, okay.
I really do.
Best comic TV series.
The Flash.
Ooh.
The current Flash.
Captain Canuck.
Tom Evans.
Nice.
The Electrifying Adventures of DJ Jeffy Jeff.
DJ Jeffy Jeff himself.
All right.
Comics in history.
Bryan J. Reigate.
And the best comic movie. Or movie based upon a comic.
Sentimental favorite is Superman the movie.
Oh, the original.
The original, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's got a special place in my heart.
Whew.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the Mono A Mono Show, Brian.
Well, thanks so much.
And
no problem.
Hopefully, you being the comic book expert, we can give you a call maybe in the future and get your thoughts of Captain Canuck down the road and once we are a few more issues in, and we can kind of hopefully see a storyline and maybe even these timelines converging.
You just gave it away.
What? I don't know if they will converge.
We were dancing around that topic.
I said hopefully converging.
Oh boy. Now before we leave, Brian, again, thanks for joining us. But do you have any musical requests before we leave you?
Oh God, I listen to so little music these days.
It can be old stuff.
I'm really drawing a blank, unless you've got any superhero themes loaded up.
Superhero themes?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Like,
I've got one.
what's that?
What one do you got?
Titanium Man.
All right.
Man. Yeah, I could go with that.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us here on the Mono A Mono Show, Brian. And for listeners out there, make sure to check out facebook.com/comics and history, where Brian posts all of his various episodes of comics and history, spanning a whole bunch of different comic books and different DC versus Marvel versus independent, a whole bunch of stuff out there. Comics and history on Facebook.
And by the way,
thanks so much for having me.
no problem. And I should clarify, the song is actually called Magneto and Titanium Man by Paul McCartney.
Ah, okay.
Go with that.
All right, here we go. Thanks for being on the show, Bryan.
Thanks again, guys. Have a good night.
All right,
Thanks,
we'll talk
you
to you
too.
later.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Here we go. This is Paul McCartney and Wings with Magneto and Titanium Man here on 100.3 Sound FM Mono a Mono. Stick around for the electrifying sessions with DJ Jeffy Jeff.
As Bryan said, DJ Jeffy Jeff himself.